Hey guys, welcome back to my next art book preview video. This week we have one I'm pretty excited about. This is Point Character Drawing by artist Taco. You'll notice this one says 2 on it. That's because there's actually 2 books here that come together. Book 2 was at the front there, so a quick look at the front and back first. Pretty simple covers, quite nice line drawings. So let's get straight into this. You might be able to tell this is a soft cover book. It's relatively small as well in size. Start with the contents. So part 1 we've got upper body. I won't read it all out because you guys can probably pause the video if you want to look through the contents, but we've got what looks like upper body, lower body. I'm not sure what it means by point drawing for body yet, but we'll see. Arms, individual breakdowns of small bits. We will take a look at the contents in book 2 shortly as well. So this book is actually one that was recommended to me by you guys. It wasn't even one I'd heard of before. I'm not even familiar with the artist, so when this arrived this morning, I didn't really know much about it. I took a bit of a gamble, but what I will say first of all is the book is not expensive, or the books are not expensive, the book bundle. So it's a pretty easy investment, especially for the amount of content that's in these. It came very highly recommended, and apparently the artist is really, really well known. So from the understanding that I've got, from watching other people's videos, doing a little bit of research, this artist, known as Taco, has always done quite popular tutorials, or very similar to this, in fact. I don't know whether they're the same ones, or whether the ones in the book are exclusive. I would imagine there is an overlap. If you want to take a look at, the artist's Instagram, for example, you'll see some of this kind of stuff. See if it's helpful for you. But yeah, I'm told that he was very well known originally for creating these kind of tutorials for people, these what I would consider like a simplistic, easy to read, or, quite well broken down into bite-sized chunks, and posted these online for a long time. And eventually he just became known for this. I've seen people saying they sort of found him through his Pinterest, and that these images come up sort of frequently online if you are an artist studying anatomy and bodies, things like that. And I will put links below this video to where you can get the book and everything, and of course to the artist's Instagram page. But yeah, it's definitely quite interesting, this one, because I do have quite a lot of anatomy books, and they're all very different in their approach. But I am quite a big fan of anything that can break things down into a simplistic approach. I think everybody's different when it comes to, taking in information and learning. But for me personally, things do get a little bit overwhelming for me with some anatomy books. So something like this I find much more manageable. And originally, I'm not sure if the book was only available in Korean. So you've probably noticed throughout, there is Korean text, but this version at least, there is also the English summary below. But one of the benefits of these books is, first of all, there's minimal text anyway, which again, for me, I find quite helpful. I find that I'm sort of more of a visual learner. I find that more interesting to go through, seeing the images. It doesn't overwhelm me as much as like an Andrew Loomis book, for example, that has a lot of text. But also, again, this is something I heard a few other people mention. It's good because whilst there is a small bit of text with it, you can kind of pick up on what's going on from the images alone. So even if you have the Korean version that doesn't have English in it, you could still find probably quite a lot of value in this. In fact, it's worth noting that when I looked on Amazon, by the way, it did say the text for it was Korean, but I believe it is the version that has the English bit below it as well. But if anybody knows that, do let me know in the comments below. Definitely a very good book to have if you struggle with hands. Hands are definitely a subject that a lot of us struggle with, and we need to break it down a little bit. It actually reminds me a little bit of the Tom Fox Draws book. I'll put links to that in the description box below as well. But let's leave it at that for book 1. Let's take a quick look at book 2. Okay, so here we have book 2. Again, they come in a set. Quick look at the front and back of these. Obviously, it's a similar style cover. Let's get the contents on screen. So following on from book 1, we've got part 3, the face, part 4, legs, and part 5, illustrations, which I'm quite intrigued by. So let's get straight into this one. Again, it's the same kind of stuff, obviously, but just breaking down different areas of the body. For me, personally, I've always wanted to improve my drawings of heads and faces, so this is pretty cool. Another thing worth mentioning, again, I can't really confirm it because I haven't gone through the book fully, but a lot of people mentioned it's very good if you are into anime or manga and things like that. And to me, it still looks like it's teaching all of the sort of essentials for realistic human anatomy as well. But I can see an influence, I guess, on like a sort of manga art style. So I know that's extremely popular, so I can imagine this actually being more popular than some traditional anatomy books. And I mentioned it reminded me a little bit of like the Tom Fox Draws book with the line drawings, you know, the sort of simplification, drawing shapes in 3D space, perspective, overlap, things like that. But I also think it's probably quite a good book to have because of its simplistic nature, alongside something a little bit more complex. It might help you understand the more complex things. So for example, I'm studying the Proco Anatomy course at the moment, and whilst it's absolutely incredible, it is sometimes a little bit overwhelming. Whereas something like this, you can just pick up the book, open it. I think I'd probably learn better from this. Maybe that says more about me, I'm not sure. But this you can probably use as like a quick reference when I say you can just open it. So if you're struggling with one body part, instead of having to go back and study anatomy quite detailed, you could probably just open this to a few pages, glance at the images, and probably get a pretty good understanding of it. But one book that I did recently review on camera was this Rocky Kim's anatomy drawing class. Now this is a really big book, by the way. That has a lot of anatomy drawings in there. It's a really good book. But again, I think having something like this alongside that would probably be really beneficial. Again, I'll put links below though to where you can buy the books and similar videos that I think you guys might be interested that I've already previewed. Pretty cool that this one includes hair as well. I wasn't really expecting that. But earlier on I did check on his Instagram. I saw some sort of hair tutorials like this and I was actually pretty impressed with them. With these slightly smaller in size books with line drawings, with the simplistic approach, they remind me a little bit as well of Morpho books, if any of you guys are familiar with those. I have a feeling a lot of you guys, if you found this video, probably know the artist better than me. I reckon I probably have come across his stuff, her stuff, I'm not sure, sorry, in the past online, but I've probably not sort of picked up on it. But I do like their approach. I think it definitely works well. It's very good and easy to take in. So I'm skipping through this pretty quickly. You know, I'm not showing every page. There's roughly, let's take a look. It looks like there's over 200 pages in each of these books. This artist does actually have another book that comes up on Amazon called Secret Character Drawing. But again, I don't know anything about that one. It looks similar on the cover, but I'm not sure what that kind of includes. I don't know whether that one's in English or not. I'd be intrigued to know if any of you guys have got that one, what that's like. I think for me, the biggest benefit of these books are going to be, as mentioned, to use as quick reference, but also the hands and feet. And this back illustrations bit is really good for perspective reference of figures and faces, so this bit's pretty cool. But that's pretty much it, guys, so I hope you found the video useful. I'd be intrigued to know if you have the book, what you think to it. Let me know in the comments below what other books you guys want to see next. Aside from that, make sure you subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, everyone.